let's queer up gay culture. A British museum has admitted that a Roman ruler was transgender. A Roman emperor has been declared transgender by a UK museum. The North Hertfordshire Museum said it will be sensitive to the purported pronoun preferences of the 3rd century AD ruler Elagabalus. The emperor will be treated as a transgender woman and referred to as she. The museum consulted the LGBTQ+ charity Stonewall and the LGBTQ+ wing of the trade union Unison on best practices for its displays to ensure their displays, publicity, and talks are as up-to-date and inclusive as possible. Keith Hoskins, Liberal Democrat councilor and executive member for the arts at Lib Dem and Labor coalition-run North Herts Council, told the Telegraph that the emperor most definitely preferred the she pronoun. The change came about based on an account by Cassius Dio, a Roman chronicler, who wrote that Elagabalus told one lover, quote, "Call me not Lord, for I am a lady," end quote, and asked for female genitalia to be fashioned for him. But the Telegraph added, some historians believe these accounts may simply have been a Roman attempt at character assassination. Andrew Wallace-Hadrill, a Cambridge classics professor, told the Telegraph that the Romans didn't have the idea of trans as a category as we have today. Rather, they use accusations of sexual behavior as a woman as one of the worst insults against men. I think this is really interesting, especially coming off of the trip that we just experienced and getting to see all of these museums. We went to the British Museum, we went to the Athens Museum, and seeing all of these statues, all these gods and goddesses who have existed for centuries, you know, and hearing their stories and, you know, learning about homosexuality in history makes something like this seem even more believable, seeing it for ourselves and knowing how homosexuality was practiced amongst the Greeks and the Romans dating back for, you know, 5,000-6,000 years.
Well, and kudos to them for bringing it out to light, right? Because they could have totally just put it under the rug. Let's not even deal with this shit now. It's not, you know what I mean? Like Cal said, you know, we were just in Greece and we got to learn about Alexander the Great and Julius Caesar. All that were gay, all had their side boy pieces, okay? So this stuff is not far from the truth. We didn't, you know, I hate when right-wingers are like, oh, you're adding to the acronym. You know, you're making up gay, blah, blah, blah. We've been here all along. Me and Elimination had this conversation before the show. We've been here BC, before Christ, thousands of years before Christ, we were here. Now, I do agree with the story that there probably wasn't a space for trans during that time where they didn't know what that could be, right? But I totally believe that Elagabalus could have been our first drag queen, or could have been our first kind of Twinkie boy that was very effeminate, so he wanted to be addressed as lady. And damn it, he was an emperor, so you needed to address him however the hell he wanted to be addressed. And he wanted vagina jewelry. He wanted jewelry to look like a vagina that he would put on him. Okay, if that's not quick drag, I don't know what is.
And I agree. It gives some kind of authenticity to that we've always been here. That there's nothing new, and it also shows how the world hasn't changed, because hate still is hate. The hate that I can't say it as you as well as you. I got Elagabalus experience that our siblings still experience today. I think that the world just repeats itself. And all we're doing is now saying how we've always been here. We've been here, and I even did some research how they even call it they. And then think about how the word they is really, when you can't really identify as one or other. So maybe throughout their livelihood of finding who they were, they was like, you know what, yeah, I'm no longer he. I'm experiencing something. I'm identifying myself as something else. Or I'm both today, because today I feel like this, but tomorrow I may feel like this, and I'm experiencing, I'm thinking as both genders. And so then she finally said, I am no longer who I used to be, but I am now she. I think that's when she was the most powerful.
Completely.
And then we talked about this earlier, how she was assassinated. I think when folks really realized her true power, they were afraid. So what do we see happening today? When people see how strong, how courageous, how amazing, how self-sufficient and self-reliant our siblings are, what do? They harm them, they hurt them, they put them in a corner, they don't provide healthcare, they don't provide jobs, they don't give them an opportunity to survive. And so what we're seeing now is, and so kudos to them by realizing that maybe somebody who goes to one of those museums, who reads, who Googles, as Faye always tells us, Google it. They will now see that this is nothing new. So when you're trying to hurt or get rid of someone, you can't do it because we've always been here. They always.